We're asked to write an equation relating cost of renting the car, C, to the number of kilometers driven. Well, first off, the y-intercept from before is 50. The slope of the line, or the rate of change, is 0.16. The dependent variable, remember, is cost to rent the car, and the independent variable is the number of kilometers driven, and we're going to let K be the number of kilometers driven. So we're going to take a look at our equation y equals mx plus b again, and we remember y is our independent variable, y is our dependent variable, and that is cost. So we're going to sub in c for y, and m is our slope, and remember from up here, our slope of the line is 0.16. The independent variable is our x, and that is number of kilometers driven, and we're going to use k for that variable. And we're going to have a y-intercept of 50, which is our flat rate charge, so it's going to be plus 50. So this is the equation of the line, and so therefore to rent the car for the weekend, the cost for renting the car for the weekend is calculated by multiplying the number of kilometers driven by 0.16, or the kilometer rate, and adding $50, which is the flat rate. And when the next question, you're asked to use your equation from number 2 to determine the cost of renting the car and driving 134 kilometers. And this is how you're to show all your work for any time you're solving an equation. So you've got your equation from question number 2. So this is what we found in question 2. And remember that the cost of renting the car is C, and the number of kilometers driven is K. Well, from the question, you should underline 134 kilometers, because this is number of kilometers driven. So K then is 134. And what we do now is we sub in the value we're given into the equation and solve. So we get 0.16, and remember, sub it in brackets, so times 134 plus 50. 0.16 is 0.16 times 134 is 21.44, plus 50 is 71.44, and we got to bring some meaning to this. This means the cost for renting the car and driving 134 kilometers is $71.44. The next question, you're asked to determine the number of kilometers driven if the cost for renting the car is $79.92. And we write our equation again, and remember that C is cost, and we're given that the cost is $79.92, and we're asked to find the number of kilometers driven, which is K. So we're looking for K, and we're given C, and remember that C is the $79.92. So we sub in for C equals $79.92. So all we've done is replaced C with the $79.92, and now what we got to do is solve for K. And remember that the first thing we got to do to get K by itself, and we use SAMDEB, or BEDMAS backwards, is subtract 50 from both sides. So when we subtract 50 from both sides, we get 0.16K equals 29.92. Now what we have to do is get rid of the 0.16, and this is a multiplication, so we use the opposite operation, so we divide both sides by 0.16, and when we do that, we get K is equal to 187. And we need a therefore statement. This means that if the bill for renting the car is $72.92, then the car was driven 187 kilometers. The last question, the company offers a weekend rental for $250 with unlimited kilometers. Under what conditions would you choose this option? Well, first of all, you're going to write your equation, and this is cost. So we're given a cost, and we're going to put that into our equation, or sub into our equation, for 250 for C. And we're going to figure out how many kilometers we can drive under this rate if we're going to be charged the kilometers. So what we're going to do now is subtract 50 from both sides to get 0.16K by itself. And so 0.16K is equal to 200. Again, we got to divide both sides by 0.16, and we get an answer of 1,250. And what this means is that if you're planning on driving 250 kilometers or more over the weekend, then it is better to go with the unlimited kilometer deal. If you plan on driving less than 150 kilometers, then it would be cheaper for you to use the kilometer charge rate.